Where'd you get a college degree in, Dana? Dirt! Dirt! Picking up dirt.
I'm trying to have a serious conversation with you, Raegan.
Dirt, 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 dirt. Oh, man, that's how I feel right now, though. All right. What are we talking about today, Dana?
No, wait. When this is like, I know we like to put something funny before the theme, but it's not going to be all of that, is it? This is Sweet Little Ladies?
Yeah.
The podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm confident about that.
No, the TV show.
Coming soon, 2022. I'm Dana Ehrmann.
I'm Raegan Niemela.
And if you need a reminder, if this is your first time listening, being a sweet little lady is just when you're being your GD self.
And you're being you.
And so before we launch into what we're launching into today, do you want to talk about sweet little ladies? Whether something made you feel like one, or you know somebody?
Who is a sweet little lady?
Yeah.
Do you know what you want to talk about right away? Can you go first?
I can.
Okay.
In fact, you're probably going to have to cut me off.
So I'll just ignore you while you're talking.
Yeah. Just me and the mic.
Yeah, no, you go for it.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about a little while ago, I was on a comedy trip with our pals.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Schmidt.
Hell yeah.
Ryan Mason.
Hell yeah.
We were in Wapaka, Wisconsin. I probably shouldn't have been that specific, honestly. Sometimes I forget that someone might be listening. But we had a show on a boat. It was very fun. And then we stayed overnight at what used to be a one-room schoolhouse. So that already was kind of an adventure.
Murder. Murder.
And were there old-timey photos on the wall? You bet your ass. Okay, there were.
Yeah.
And like little school desks in every corner. So.
Oh, the one that's like just like a fat armrest. Like it's not enough of an actual desk to put anything on, really.
Oh yeah. There were multiple kinds, and
all different.
all different. And me, Ryan, and Chris were staying there.
Okay.
And I went to bed not feeling great, but I'm not a stranger to that feeling, so I thought nothing of it.
I'm constantly sickly.
And about 1 a.m., I woke myself up by puking. Like I was dead asleep.
Like in college.
Like, I wish this was alcohol related.
Dude.
It was not alcohol related. I woke myself up by puking all over myself and the bed.
Fuck yeah.
And then my first instinct when anything goes wrong is to be like, how can I take care of this without anyone else knowing? And it became pretty clear pretty quick that I could not. So
did you have your own car there, or were you all like in the same car?
I had my own car.
Okay.
Yeah. That didn't factor in the end.
You could drive.
Well, at 1 a.m. covered in puke and the bed covered in puke. Like, was I just gonna drive right into?
What did you?
The crick in the back of the schoolhouse.
What'd you do?
So in my calmest voice I could muster, I just yelled, "Ryan." Ryan?
Like you're one of his fucking kids, Dad.
Well, and that's,
Dad.
you know, that's why I chose him. Chris was also there, and Chris is great and very competent, but I was like,
go
Ryan
to the parent. When
has
there's vomit,
children.
you go to the parent for sure.
And he's just like, you okay? And I was like,
no.
Well, that's a matter that is up for debate.
In your little gym jams, rubbing the sleep out of your eyes.
And like, I'm not... this borders on too much, but like I'm not even sitting up. I am like holding a lot of liquid to try to prevent it from like soaking like further through the bed.
So you didn't even get out of your bed. You're just shouting at him?
No, because if I did, it would have gotten so
everywhere.
Much worse.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And so he comes in, and like dad that he is, he's just like,
shit.
Oh yeah. And he's like, okay, well, let's just strip the bed and just like, for the time being, throw all of the stuff on the floor. And I was like, well, big problem. I'm holding a huge pile
of puke.
Yeah. And he's just like, no, let's just throw it. I'll bunch it up and we'll do. And so like I took a shower and everything. He's dealing with that.
Oh my god.
We got it up off of the floor. That was my one nugget where I was like,
Dana.
if we put it on the floor, it's also gonna be filled with puke.
Ryan thought that was his vacation away from young people waking him up with puke in the middle of the night.
Well, you thought wrong, Ryan. Not when you roll with this gal.
Okay, so you got to shower and clean up.
Yeah, second shower within 2 hours because I showered right before bed.
Okay.
And then I had to shower again, threw all my pajamas right in the trash.
But the second shower, you sat on the ground
and wept. No, and then
you threw your jammies out.
I had to.
God damn it.
You know, and then we were like, yeah, we'll just get some sleep, and then in the morning you should just go to a laundromat, Ryan said. But I was up all night puking, so in fact he woke up early. He took it to the laundromat for me.
Wow.
And washed them.
What a sweet little lady.
And so what I'm saying is Ryan Mason is a sweet little lady.
Jesus
I'm forever
Christ.
indebted. Thank you for dealing with my puke. That's what I got to say.
That is bonkers. That is a nutso story, my friend.
It was a weekend ruiner. I'll say that.
Hell no. Because that day, didn't you do a comedy show on a boat?
Earlier that day.
I don't know how anybody thought you guys were all going to do a comedy show on a boat and not throw up that night.
But I want to be clear, it also wasn't that. I don't know what it was.
Don't know.
I think, Chris ended up saying you definitely got possessed by a dead student.
Child.
Yeah.
So I think that's the theory that I think is best of the two that I've heard.
Of the two that I heard right now. So thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. Thanks for taking care of our other sweet little lady.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Hell yeah. I don't have anything that's gonna top that.
I know. Like, I wanted to go second, but you insisted.
Because you were like, that's the one time you're like completely fucking right when you're like, the build-up was totally worth, you know, like the build-up to that story is equally good as the actual story. I guess just a short one. I don't know if we talked about Seth on who Seth is on the last one.
No, I don't think so.
Seth is our new
intern.
He's not an intern. He's our whore.
He is.
No.
Let a gal know.
Seth is a good friend who's helping us out with the audio. So I guess he'll be my sweet little lady today because he's offering to do this free or just willingly volunteered to assist. And it is a whole skin off of my back. Is that right? It is skin off of my back. It's not.
No, that's not right.
How does that work?
That's seriously
it's
a
shit
very...
off my plate. That's what I meant.
Shit. That adage. No, that seriously is a really nice thing. It ain't easy listening to these gals, I'll tell you that.
I've tried. Haven't listened to a single episode. No, just kidding. I listened to them all multiple times.
But yeah, thank you, Seth.
Thank you,
That's
Seth.
very cool.
Ryan Mason. A lot of our sweet little ladies this week are men. I'm loving it.
But that's
the point.
That's the way it can go.
Anybody can be a sweet little lady
If you play your cards right.
It was like Blue's Clues. No, not close. I've always thought I was pretty good at that.
No, my is.
You don't like Blue's Clues?
And I don't remember. I blocked it out.
Get some trauma. Got some cartoon related trauma.
Always.
Blue dog bite you in your childhood?
I don't want to talk about it, Raegan.
Let's get into it. Blue is a girl. Isn't that crazy? Sorry, you don't want to talk about it.
It's like, what are you getting about this?
Oh, I thought
no,
Blue
honestly,
was a boy.
I just have no interesting thoughts on Blue's Clues, so.
Well, that's fucking your loss. It's a very interesting show.
I'll binge it when you leave. Don't worry. What's that going to take, 2 hours?
Shut up. Like 20-second episodes. What are we actually talking about today, though? Dan?
Today, we're actually talking about college, or if you're from, Europe or something, university.
Fuck that. No.
Yeah, fuck that. Go fuck off.
Like, they do it classier? Are you fucking kidding me? When they get to drink when they're 18, oh, it's university, because you get fucking smashed sooner.
By 22, they must just be like, I'm
over
sick
it.
Of this.
Yeah, that was a thing. Not to be a douchebag, but I studied abroad.
No, I wanted to ask you about that. Yeah, we'll get into that, I hope.
Yeah.
I wanted to start and ask you, if you don't mind, was going to college something that was like always just like understood and expected for you?
Yeah.
Or
this is such a good topic. I'm cracking my neck, sorry. Because I was just reading this crazy article about student debt. So I'm going to start, but like just to like tie in a little bit at the end. I would think it was very much expected that I'd go to college.
Yeah.
I also talked a big talk and was convinced I was going to med school.
Oh, yeah? Like that was something you were interested in?
Because I've never really known myself. So
you're getting to know you while I'm getting to know you.
I didn't know that I was a huge piece of shit with no follow-through at 18. And I very soon found out. I think college was always, and two, it was just, in high school I had all these friends that were like pretty smart and shit, and like they were all going to Madison. Actually, it was the saddest thing in the world is my marching band went to march in the Rose Parade when I was a senior in high school.
Oh, shit.
Which is pretty cool. And so we were all in Pasadena in the hotel before, like, I think it was like the day before it doesn't matter. Anyways, we were out there and we were all in the hotel having a great time, and everybody was getting their acceptance letter except for me.
Oh, that hurts.
Dude, I got waitlisted and then I eventually got in. But
I mean, that stuff.
Traumatizing.
Like things in high school, like college acceptance and GPA and class rank.
ACT,
like meant so much to me and all of my friends at the time.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't get whatever your desired outcome was, it felt like the end of the world. And now I look back and I just can't. I mean, of course it matters at the time, but it doesn't matter at all.
Well, and it doesn't have to even matter at the time is the other thing. Like all of that felt so much pressure from friends, and then like my family didn't really talk to me about it. It was just kind of like I told them I was like, I'm going to college, and then it was like, I'm gonna go to Madison if I can. And then like especially my mom, I love Marsha, but she is a little bit of a bragger when it comes to her Raegan. She fucking told like,
that's sweet.
And then it was like, I have to get in. Like, I absolutely have to. But that's what's so crazy about, like, I think that's like the big problem that I didn't, like, now looking back, I would have never gone to college. Because the things I really wanted to do at that time was work. I wanted to work, and I wanted to party, and I wanted to get away from all my family and just, like, find myself. And I totally could have done that. I'm losing my voice, sorry. I totally could have done that without spending $72,000.
Well, it is crazy, right? I mean, I do think, last episode when we were talking about the internet, we were talking about we're of a certain age where we, like, got the internet and we grew up with it, and we're also of the certain age where, like, yeah, it was expected that you go to college. School, like, it wasn't Like,
especially as a young lady, like you can't go be, I mean, I guess you could go be a welder, but it's not like a path that anybody's ever been like, well, you know, if college doesn't work out, you can just do a trade. Like, nobody's ever said that to me.
No one has ever been like, it's an option, just so you know.
Just so you know.
So yeah, it is crazy. But, I remember literally, like, that stuff mattered so much to me. I remember my therapist telling me...
Dude, what was your ACT?
Do you actually want...
Yeah, let's do this right now.
No, you don't. What's yours?
Are you gonna tell me yours?
If you want, but this is so fucking dumb, Raegan.
It is not. This is college. College. That's what we're doing.
32.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
You genius, you tiny little sweet little genius.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything.
I was so ready to big dick you with a 29.
Hey, I got that the first time, and then I was like, that is not good enough for me, man.
I took it twice. I got a 29 twice.
Oh, yeah? So you're
I'm very sure I'm slightly above average. My intelligence.
29. I'm very comfortable with this.
Hell yeah.
But like that stuff mattered so, and class rank too was such a huge
Dude, were you
thing.
valedictorian? You fucking
no,
nerd.
I wasn't. But like sometime during the 4 years, I was in the running, or like people thought I was, and.
Okay.
And I remember, like, actually talking to my therapist about this, and she was like, you know, like, when you graduate high school, nobody's gonna care about any of this, including you.
Yeah.
And I remember that blew my mind. I was like, that can't possibly be true.
Everybody knows grandfather was valedictorian and he got a 31.
Everybody knows. And look at the mantle. It's the ACT
You get a
certificate.
fucking job application. You had to have a 32 on your ACT.
I love that voice you do. On your ACT.
ACT. And if you did not,
then
live in poverty.
But so, like, for me, then with college, I don't know. That was so stressful too. And I had no like sense of where I wanted to go necessarily.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like my family and I were gonna do like a big, like, does anyone really do like a college road trip visiting colleges, or does that just happen
I
on
went.
TV? Oh, you did?
I did, yeah. Oh man, it was actually pretty cool because like when I went, my mom was like 7 months pregnant.
Oh yeah.
With my little brother. And
you're like, please don't go until early labor in the car.
She had to fucking sleep on a college dorm bed like 7 months. My computer logged out. 7 months pregnant. She woke up the next morning and then we had to go on a fucking walking tour.
Yeah.
And her like little back was just killing her. It was awful. It was so shitty. Yeah. Good job, Marsha. So yeah, Ed went to college with me.
Ed has visited college.
My little Ed. But yeah, so I guess like, yeah, but we didn't go to more than that. We just went to Madison. That was the only one we went to. We didn't go to any others.
Well, I guess so. My parents and we did go to Madison as well. Mm-hmm. And then I applied to...
Why didn't you go to Madison?
Oh, I'll get into that.
Like, I smell too many 29s around here.
Too many 29s. This isn't elite enough. No, and so I applied to Madison and UW Milwaukee.
Fuck yeah.
Carthage College in Kenosha. And UW La Crosse. But
I also applied to La Crosse.
I didn't feel strongly about like any of them.
Same.
Really. And I like took tours at all of them but La Crosse, and I was just like, they're all fine, but I didn't.
And now in hindsight, I feel like La Crosse would have been the best one to go to. Have you ever been there?
I just once,
and
it was dope.
It's so beautiful over there. Like the nature is
in the bluffs,
crazy. It's too small of a town for me for sure. It's very small, but like 4 years would have been financially better choice. Well, really fucking great hiking. Like, hindsight.
Oh, that would have been...
We should have just gone to lacrosse. That was a huge mistake.
If I could turn back time. That was lovely.
That was... You didn't even hear it through the headphones. It was fucking gorgeous.
A little vibrato we had. We had a little vibrato. Yeah. And long story short, too... I had a friend where we had kind of decided we were gonna go to UW Milwaukee together and like room together, but then she like changed her mind, and so I was like, I guess I'll go to Carthage. Yeah, like I just didn't. It wasn't like I was excited.
Yeah,
and I guess that's one of the funny things is, even though I love Carthage and I'm glad I went there and I had a great experience, I think so much emphasis is put on, like, you gotta find the right school for you. And it's true to a certain extent, but also, like, you'll probably be fine.
You will be fine.
No matter where you go. Yeah. Like, there's so much emphasis in life put on, like, that there's a right path for you.
Good fit. Yeah,
and, there's one right thing. And there's, like, not. Like, you will have a life and have a path. And there's, like, not, man.
It's so true, though. It's horror shit. It's, right? Like, very much like they're kind of branding, like, make you feel like an individual and part of the group at the same time. It's like, it's entirely what it is. It's like, make you feel special, but also one of us. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And so for Madison, I liked it, but there were like 2 reasons why I didn't want to go.
Fuck yeah. Let's get into why Raegan hates Madison, specifically University of Wisconsin-Madison.
You're not being clear enough.
I despise the University of Wisconsin.
Well, tell me if it has... So my two things
what are your 2 things?
One, I love the city of Madison.
Boo! I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Well, like, I've never lived there, but I love visiting for comedy and everything. Mm-hmm. But I thought...
Yes, for comedy, yes.
I thought UW-Madison was too big a school for me. Like...
Too big.
And then the second thing was, kind of like you were saying, like, all of my friends from high school went there.
Oh, and you did not want to be with them.
I did not want to be with them because I was already nervous enough about making new friends, and then I was like, if I go there, I'm just going to cling to them and, like, not push myself. So I wanted to go somewhere where I would have to meet new people.
That had, like, a bright ending. I thought you were going to be like... if I would have went there, I would have hung out with them all the time, and I was kind of over it. It's like, if they're listening right now,
no, that too.
That fucking hurts.
No, I think that I don't care if they are.
They're probably not.
Yeah. So that's my thing.
Okay. So push yourself socially, and the city just felt like too big.
Yeah. So then I went. This is where I'll stop. Is I went to Carthage, which is a much smaller school. It's just a small liberal arts school of like 2,500 total.
Yeah.
And it's that cheesy thing of like, I can stand out. I can like be somebody.
That's interesting to me though, that because you're from West Allis, so that's technically Milwaukee.
I mean, it's a suburb of Milwaukee. Yeah.
But like Madison's like, I would say very comparable to like a West Allis. I mean, not in terms of trade and people and culture, but size-wise.
Well, I don't know like about area, but population, Madison's still
definitely bigger.
Yeah,
but Milwaukee as a whole, Madison's smaller.
Wait, what?
Milwaukee is much larger than Madison. Did I say that wrong?
No, the terminology. You're so advanced on me.
Oh,
is what I'm saying. That I was like,
Milwaukee's just much, much bigger than Madison is.
Oh yeah, right on. Mm-hmm.
So I would think that like that Madison wouldn't feel too. Is it? But I will say that Madison is very condensed, whereas Milwaukee's more spread out. So it probably felt really huge.
Well, and really, it wasn't about the city being big, but it was about the university, like being one of like 40,000 or however.
Literally
the
student population. Yeah, I got you. We're on the same page.
Yeah, okay. Like just had the picture of like huge lecture halls and stuff,
which is totally like my first year of college. Dude, that's why I got my first C. It was in a math class that I don't know if it would have made a difference. Not a math gal. But I was like, I'm not a math gal, and then I was even more checked out because it was just so enormous. So
yeah,
totally.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's dig in. I want to know.
Let's bitch about it. Madison as a city, as an adult, is not as bad as when I was in college there. Like, I love the comedy scene there.
Yeah.
Love the comedy club. I do enjoy the east side of Madison, which is like Willie Street area. Very cool area.
Absolutely.
Although now there's a bunch of fucking condos going in there and ruining shit. A bunch of the dive bars. Well, not a bunch. One particular dive bar I loved. The Wisco just got a whole... It was like a very divey, dirty, gross, disgusting metal bar. It was phenomenal.
You had me at gross.
Had me at gross. It was 2 blocks from my house, and now it is like beautiful, and they spruced up their volleyball court, and they painted the outside, and I didn't go in it, so I don't know if it's still disgusting inside, but I was like, that's not my scene. Like, I don't know. It was...
Yeah.
And then they got all these condos.
That's not my scene.
It's not. You know me. I'm messy. I'm a messy person. But yeah, like just like stupid condos and very cookie cutter shit moving into what it was a very eclectic, strange, hippie neighborhood. It's still that way, I think, overall. Also, Bon Thai shut down, my favorite Thai spot.
Ooh.
Little old lady behind the counter, I'd always tell her, put 5 stars, and she'd say, you can't handle 5 stars. I'd be like, yes, I can, and every time I should have listened to her. Never did.
You never learned.
She was just looking out for me. But yeah. No, but yeah, as university, overrated. Overrated university, too. How do you want to dig into this? Like, there's so many different angles I could go at it. Financially, overrated. Diversity-wise, it's a fraud.
Ooh, I mean, where do you want to start?
I don't know.
Academically, financially?
Academically, also. Well, I think the thing that pissed me off the most about UW-Madison was I remember being a freshman and sitting down and looking at my fucking counselor who like helps you sign up for classes, and I was like, I am paying for this, all of it. I need you to tell me how to get in and get out of here, and yada yada yada. And they were like, just do whatever and blah blah blah.
Oh, they didn't take it serious that you were like, I need to get in and get out like as fast as possible.
And I was like, who do I talk to about the money side? And they were like, your bank. And I was just like, okay. And I talked to my bank, and they just like didn't really do much.
They were like, talk to your school.
Talk to your school. Well, they were like, because they were kind of just like, well, it's about what kind of debt you can take on. And it's like, I'm 18.
Not that much.
I have no idea. Yeah, I have no clue. Like, if somebody had told me after my freshman year when I wanted to change my major for the first time, like how much debt I had, what I was looking at, I probably would have dropped out after 1 year. I would have probably just dropped out and gone, and because like the job I have right now, I didn't even need a degree for, although I know they like to hire people with degrees.
Sure,
I get that, but at the same time, if you're smart enough and you work hard enough, you don't need a fucking degree. Especially women. I feel like college is pushed on us so hard, like you gotta go, because like there are jobs out there that you don't need a degree for, and you can of your own merit just be smart and witty and fucking awesome and go get a great job. Like there's things you can do without having to go get fucking $30,000 of debt. Which, by the way, I just found out that the average student, this article I was reading today, just kind of like while I was at work over my lunch, I was like kind of looking at shit, said that the average student graduates with $30,000 of debt, and I think that is such a lowball fucking amount.
Yeah, I hear like from friends and coworkers and things, what I hear is so across the board.
Oh, really?
It's, just anecdotally, like you'll meet someone who's like over 100,000, and then you'll meet someone who's just like 15. It's so... And I guess there are the factors of, like, if your parents are helping in your financial aid and, like, all that. But it is, I mean, this is,
private versus public.
Yeah. In-state, out-of-state. Like, But this is like a huge thing that's being talked about politically for the candidates, having to answer, like, what are you going to do about student debt? Like, we're saddled with so much, we can't get ahead.
Yeah. Can't, like, yeah. I mean, it's a scary time financially for me, to be honest with you. I think about my budget a lot.
Money. Yeah, no, and you're right. You're like an 18-year-old sitting across from someone, and they're asking you about financials, and you're like, I don't know what kind of debt I can take on. What kind of question is that?
I think they presume, too, that, like, parents teach you that. And it's, like, I think my parents are both actually really, like I would say at least decent, if not good, with money.
Yeah.
Like, my mom was single mom. She always made it work. Never made it feel like we were, whatever.
Yeah.
After I was 10, I didn't live full-time with my dad, so I don't really know. But he's always, had a very stable job. But, like, that, just because they, like, made it work doesn't mean they, like, educated me. You know what I mean? Like, not all households put that emphasis on, like, you need to invest, and this is what a 401k is. And,
honestly, like, I feel like parents just don't do that, and that's not a knock on parents. No. I don't think it's, like, even...
the siren is very... it's the sound of me dying under my burden of...
Financially. I'm flatlining. Like, that's just not a thing that comes up. And yeah, like I said, that's not a knock on parents, but like...
Did your parents talk to you about loans and shit?
I mean... Not that thoroughly.
Carol, did you talk to Dana or not?
Listen, she'll fuck you up, alright? And she will sleep soundly.
Carol, it's fine. Marcia didn't either. You guys are in the same boat.
But, and I'm not saying that, like, like, is it really an expectation that every parent in America is going to sit down and be like...
Yeah. The onus should be on the fucking institution. They're selling you your, quote, education, unquote. Yeah. They should tell you what that means for you financially, I think, particularly because, if it was like you were buying some other service or whatever, I don't think that maybe the onus is on them. But you're selling an education to 18-year-old people that need knowledge that you have.
Yeah.
You should give them a taste of that and be like, hey, listen, this is what you can get from us. And here's a great example of what you can get for us. I can tell you that if you graduate, say you can get a job where you make $40,000 a year. I don't make that much.
Me neither.
This is how much you're going to have to pay every month. This is how much you're going to have to take while you're in college. This is what you can do to mitigate those damages. Like, that should be a part of any... If I'm paying you that much fucking money to go to your institution, you should be telling me how to mitigate my losses. At least, like, I don't know, like an introductory college student 101, how to manage your finances.
Well, and I mean, that even brings up the point of, like...
High school should probably be doing that.
High school is what I was going to say, where, like, you'll hear various people say from time to time, like, like, you never learn how to write a check or do your taxes or, like, whatever in high school. Like, maybe that should be a part of it.
That should definitely be a part. Actually, it's probably should be part of high school than even college. Yeah.
Because if your guidance counselors can be pushing you about, finding out what college is right for you and blah, 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 they could also do a little...
Yeah. Make sure that you can actually afford to go. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So...
Whew, I got all hot and bothered about that one.
All right, financials. Check.
Is she stressed? Strapped for cash, yeah.
What about the majors? You were saying you changed.
Oh,
I know
so
where you ended
times.
up, but
do you?
Well, because I'm an English major,
that's right.
And I came into college.
I like quizzed you. It's that my parents still to this day don't know all the degrees I got. And I'm always trying to get them to remember.
God,
I think they might now because I've harassed them. They know I got an English, and then I also got communication arts, like video, and then teaching English as a second language, in case you were wondering.
Damn, I didn't know about the last one, actually. I felt that part of the quiz.
72K in debt. I'm gonna brag about it.
Okay, let me have this. But I came into college undecided, but, like, after the first semester, I chose English. And then somewhere down the line, I picked up film studies.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's right.
So,
yeah, we both did the same deal. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't ask me how much I'm reading these days.
English degree and a film studies degree. Put that together, and what do you get? A podcast.
A podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, like what were some things that you majored in that you switched from?
Started off biology.
Right, because you had thought medical school at some point.
And then I started both English and biology. And I don't remember if I officially had changed my major or if I had just, because I could, like, I think there was, like, some kind of overlap with my English degree where it was kind of fine. But I temporarily anticipated doing journalism.
Yeah.
And then flopped over to communication arts from there. So I got the English degree. That one stayed the same, but it went from biology to, I think it officially went to journalism. I'm not quite sure. But then it definitely went from whatever previously to then communication arts. No longer pre-med. And then I tacked on the certificate, which is the teaching English as a second language.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
This might be jumping around a little bit in what I wanted to talk about, but yeah, I mean, the English. Uh-huh. Were people giving you crap about it in your life at the time? Because I know they were for me.
Yeah, no, they definitely did. And honestly, my English degree was the best investment, I think. Because while I did not learn anything practical, I had I got lucky with a lot of really good. It's so sad.
Oh, I'm just laughing because we're obviously both English majors, and I know why you're laughing.
Yeah, it's so sad.
But you lucked out.
I lucked out. I had really great professors.
Yeah.
And they did teach me. The practical thing I learned was that one of my favorite Professor Beacom at University of Wisconsin, he's an English teacher. He taught like a James Joyce class and then like a modernist class and a pre-modernist era lit. He taught all that shit. All that shit. As I just shit on his whole profession. Sorry, Professor
I know.
Beacom.
I'm already like I'm doing that thing where like you're talking and I'm like wondering like how I can talk about the English major without offending people.
Without offending people. No, because he taught me to be very critical.
Yeah.
He taught me to be very critical. Did I need to go to college to read Ulysses? These are like, that's a beautiful thing I learned from his class too, is like, I think you can make comments about how you could just get all this shit in the library and like how you didn't need to fucking spend all the money on the books.
You're fucking Will Hunting.
For sure. But yeah, he was just, and he did a great thing, which he shad on, which this is gonna sound really not great, but just wait for the whole thing.
Yeah.
He's my laptop did he talked about how a lot of research in literature has changed, and in general in the arts, which as a comedian, this is relevant to me, has changed from being actual art and kind of made this flip-flop where it's just pure politics. And how that's like he's like, there's nothing wrong with talking about how, themes of like, because especially in literature, it's like a lot of the research coming out now, it's like about women, LGBT, things like that, which there's nothing wrong touching on those topics, but like if you're writing a thesis, it shouldn't be political. If you're a literature major, it should still be a literary thesis, you know what I mean? It can't just be like, this was fucking homophobic, like no shit. Like,
I see.
He's like, it still needs to be literary. It still needs to have an artistic pursuit. You cannot just boil things down to politics, which I think in comedy, a lot of times you do see.
Clapter.
You see clapter, and on both sides of the spectrum.
Clapter is when you just say something in stand-up that isn't funny, but you just believe the audience will agree and clap instead of laugh.
So
it's like, fuck Trump, right?
Yeah. I've never worked for a laugh in my life. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with, feeling that way.
But there's more.
There needs to be more.
There's more to life.
I can't just walk up on stage and be like, having a vagina is so crazy.
Please friggin' do that in that exact voice and like with your same facial expression. I will laugh so hard.
I guess I can do that.
Having a vagina is so crazy.
Women
be shopping. Women be shopping. Honestly, that does make me laugh in an ironic way. Like,
it's not wrong, but it's also not true. Oh man.
But I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
He's a very cool dude. Professor Richard Begum. Check him out if you're a UW student before you quit.
Mixed messages here, Raegan.
Drop out to save yourself some money, but also take his class.
Yeah,
all of those classes. There's so many of them. There's good ones. The irony of all of this, though, is I will say that my degree from UW definitely got me my current job.
Well, yeah.
Which is the bitter irony. It's like, it has nothing to do with what I do for work. It has, whatever, but at the same time, it's what got me there. Because it's kind of like a shitty, back rubby, bullshitty business garbage, Like, you went to fucking Ivy League? You went to fucking state school? You went to Marquette? It's a private college? I guess you should work here.
Hey, here's something we can both shit on is Marquette, am I right?
True. I never even heard of Carthage College. I never even heard of your place before I met you.
So the reason I'm making fun of Marquette meanwhile I went to a smaller school is like Marquette's trying to like be Madison.
Oh, for sure. But
where
for
Carthage
twice the price.
Isn't trying to do any of that.
Trying to be like shitty exclusive Madison. We're Catholic, as if that religion's still relevant.
As if anyone cares. So for English, I mean that's just it. Well, first of all, what I would always tell people, and I stand by it, is like, am I gonna find a job where I'm doing what I'm doing in the major, reading texts and analyzing them? Probably not. But the writing practice
that's
is
true.
I mean, I always thought because it's teaching me to write well, that theoretically should help me with anything, and I do feel like that helped me sort of getting into like marketing and communications, just being like, well, I can write good. I like saying I'm an English major, but then fucking shit
and then
up.
doing the flip flop.
Yeah,
doing but then
yeah, doing that. And so
it helped with writing, which is why we write all of these episodes out word for
this is
word.
a script. I don't know if you guys know that, but I mean, as silly as it sounds, well, not even silly, but as just in general, like you think critically, and you can take that anywhere. Is what
you like.
I
thinking critically about it.
The lie I tell myself.
Thinking critically about my English degree, it really taught me how to think critically.
It's just, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
I don't know. I can't think about it too much.
Yeah, science. But, so I mean, I think it helped me in that way get to where I am right now, working in like marketing and
doing
PR
comedy.
And doing comedy.
For sure.
Otherwise, so like I said,
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do you have things that you didn't expect to learn in college that you learned?
Like academically?
Or life lessons?
Well, that kind of falls under the umbrella of what I was gonna say next.
is
a couple things. So I was saying, like, when I chose Carthage, I, like, didn't give a shit. I wasn't, like, excited to go there.
Yeah.
Or anything.
It sounds sleepy. It sounds like a sleepy school.
It is like right on Lake Michigan.
College. Is it right on the lake? I was like picturing like autumn leaves.
And that's what like anyone else will tell you is they went there because it's a gorgeous
quiet
campus.
And beautiful. Okay.
Yeah. And I agree with that.
I want to Google on my phone just while I'm listening to you.
And I remember like sitting there during a presentation during the tour, and you know you expect them to say all these rosy things about wherever you are.
Yeah,
that's like the point. And I remember kind of like rolling my eyes, being like, "Of course." And then not to be cheesy, but like honestly, I feel like they followed through for me on like everything they said. Like
examples.
Like I loved it, man. Like.
They said you're gonna love it, and then you're like, shit.
I loved it. Well, just like the kind of opportunities you would have, this being a smaller really school,
pretty. Yeah.
And you know, I mean, before I got to college, if you had asked me about like extracurricular activities, I would have told you to fuck off. But that's how I started in stand-up.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, you seem like the queen of extracurriculars. I feel like in high school you were like drama, Spanish club.
No, I was
shoot ski.
Nothing. Shoot ski.
I forget what that's
box
called.
Hockey. If there had been a box hockey club, I would have ruled that. But no, I like hated shit like that. But then
Student
that's how
council?
I started. No.
You look like you ran for student council, Dana.
I don't know whether to be mad at you or...
You should feel presidential. This is the same thing when you said that your school quiz told you that you'd be in law enforcement. You just look like an authority. Like, you look...
Like, nobody thinks that but you. Nobody has ever looked at me and thought, that girl is an authority figure.
That quiz looked at you and said that. it looked into your
glasses.
soul. I'm looking in here, not out here. I pointed to my chest and then my face.
Yeah, please narrate that. Please narrate your gestures.
Looking on the inside.
So I hated that shit, but at the presentations, they're all like, we have so many extracurriculars, there's something for everybody, and I'm just like, oh, I'm sure there's something for me. And then that's how I started stand-up, which is like the biggest thing in my life.
That's right.
Because of that.
How many kids were in that club?
Ooh, well, I mean, it like varied, you know, every year, every semester. When I started...
Like an open mic.
Yeah, you never know who you'll find. When I started, it was probably... There was probably 6 of us.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so the thing is, I joined the club.
Did you do like 5 minutes in front of like 5 other people? How did you run it? Like, what would you do?
Well, like, we would have weekly meetings, and we would just like write. Like, the president of our club, who was a senior, he had like some prompts for us to try to write jokes, and then we would just like share them and workshop them. But then, yeah, like, we had a show. And all of us did like 5 minutes, and more. There was there
open mics in Carthage?
No. There was a decent audience because it's just like everybody's friends.
Yeah,
but that was a way easier way to start. Like, I can't imagine living in Milwaukee and deciding I want to start stand-up and being like, okay, Bremen's gonna be my first time. Like,
that's
the way that I did it.
How I did it.
Yeah, I can't imagine. The way that I did it was so much easier and like less pressure because it was just my peers.
What was the first time you did stand-up off campus?
Off campus was probably when I was a senior in college, and it was at a bar, and we opened for the UCB touring company at a bar in Sturtevant, Wisconsin.
What the fuck was any of that?
Like, what did I just say?
UCB touring? What
you
is
know
that?
UCB, like Amy Poehler, like the whole comedy
out of Chicago?
School.
Is that's no, because they were at...
I think, yeah, they have some in Chicago and New York and LA. Yeah.
I didn't know this.
So they just, like, had...
My comedy history is very limited. You forget, I am coming up on my 2-year anniversary, so I'm a wee babe.
But that's 2 years of doing it. You could have a lifetime.
I know, but I don't take interest into anything until I start it.
Noted.
That's why I'm just finding things out about Elijah right now.
I was going to say the podcast, but wow, you said Elijah.
Just kidding.
So, yeah, that was... And then...
That's a very weird... Not many... comics. You are the only comic I know that has started that way. And I would say generally that's not how people start.
And really, I think out of anyone I knew in college, like in the club with me, like I'm the only one like still doing it. Like everybody else like stopped when college stopped.
Became a cog in the machine.
Fuck the man.
Hell yeah. That's so... Were you the funniest in the group? You can say it. They would, if you were there already. They already know it.
Raegan, why are you like making me say things I don't want to say?
Do you want to talk about Blue's Clues again?
I want to talk about my ACT score again.
Okay, I really thought I was gonna big dick you so hard. I thought I got
That's
you.
the only reason I was like, all right, I'll say it, because you clearly, like, you got that gleam in your eye.
No, and that's actually, like, 29 is not that great of a score, to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
It's, like, it's not bad, but it's not, like, and, like, I remember going to school after we all took it and found out and shit, like, feeling like a big dog, and, like, literally all my friends got better scores than me. I was so stupid compared to them. Ooh. But way more fun.
well, yeah, it's all about personality, baby.
That's right.
So I just feel overall like, don't get me wrong, not all of college, you know, I didn't have 4 years of constant happiness. I actually, like, had a lot of challenges and sadnesses and stuff like that. But overall, like, I think I just had a good college experience, and I grew a lot. And so what I wanted to say was, like, I'm not saying that this is why you should go to college at all. But I'm not even trying to say, like, oh, yeah, I don't mind being as much in debt as I am because X, Y, and Z. But, like, man, if I hadn't gone to college, like, I think socially as a person, I would not be, like, anywhere near where I am.
Okay.
And, you know, like, we've already talked about skill-wise, like thinking critically and writing well, I would be so I mean, I feel like college was really necessary for me. Like I said, I'm not saying I'm happy about how much debt I'm in.
For sure.
That all needs to be
well, that's a different conversation.
Yeah, overhauled. But just as a person, like, yeah. I do feel like, hell yeah, like, I'm glad
that you went.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, man.
I want you to feel good about going to college. As much as I shit on it and I regret my decision, I want you to not feel my regret as your friend. So that's... I think like personality is a huge part of college. And it's not about finding a university that fits you. It's about if you need what university has to offer you. And I think that might be the difference, is that you maybe needed what the university had to offer you.
That kind of experience.
I did not need to go binge drink for 5 years and not really work on myself.
And see, I did. I did need that.
And I could have accomplished it without the debt, for sure. Without the debt, for sure.
Yeah, whereas I, like, I would have folded into myself and crumbled so easily if, like, when I turned 18, I just, like, got an apartment somewhere and just, like, worked.
Yeah.
Like, I would have just...
I would love that. You would have imploded? Mm-hmm. Dude, I would have... It's, like, so frustrating to me realize... Like, now, you know, I told you, like, single mom grew up, so it's never, like, we were, like... poor, but, like, we were never also wealthy. Mm-hmm. But it's like, if I had not gotten to school making the money I make, I would be experiencing the most financial freedom I've ever had in my life.
That's
probably. I could be I could be putting some serious money away towards even retirement, because I think those people who are all fucking crazy about retiring by 50, I think they're onto something. I think they're fucking, that's what everyone's goal should be. Nobody should work beyond the age of 50. That should be your golden years. This is again a different conversation, but tying it back, if I hadn't gone to college, I could be doing that. But now it's like a struggle to put, like, I'm almost doing $100 per paycheck right now, which is pretty good.
Oh, towards the debt?
Towards what? Savings. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
To savings, yeah. So, and then paying the minimum on my loans. I'm not fucking paying you ahead of time. Fuck you. I'm not. You'll get every dime that you expect. When I say. That's right. I'm almost paying on the principal of my loans. I don't even know what that means. I just got a letter that says...
Oh, boy.
No, I know what it means. I do. Yeah, educate yourself.
At the end of the year, when you get your tax document from the loans that tell you how much interest you've paid during the year, I could break anything over my knee. Yeah. Anything. An aluminum pole.
If you took every single, cent I owed, turned it into a stack of quarters, I could just ram it over my knee, break them all evenly in half.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah.
So that's
some
the
things
takeaway.
you can't even, think about that often, because it would just ruin you.
College can be beautiful, but make sure it's financially the right thing for you to do.
Mm-hmm. You can grow as a person,
correct,
but you can also grow your debt. Mm-hmm. Be aware of that.
And now we have to do our tip for the gentleman on how to get laid.
On how to get laid.
Don't
Experts
be in debt.
That we are. Don't be in debt.
You don't have a monthly
and
expense.
Extracurriculars. And join a club.
You don't have to be. What Dana's saying is, you don't have to be on student government to put out a student government vibe. That's very attractive.
I want that on merch.
Hell yeah.
Get you a man who puts out a student government vibe. But
hell yeah. Alright, well, I think there's a Brewer Cubs game tonight.
Yeah, there is.
We're gonna wrap it up just a few minutes shy of an hour then.
That's good. Yeah, I'm
hungry.
Dana.
Yeah.
And Raegan's been hungry. And this has been Sweet Little Ladies.
I'm hungry because I'm boring.